condensed it. So what it means is that we condense it into one single logarithm. Okay. So if you look at exercise number 16, as you can see right here that it have two terms, right? We want to write it have log, it have the common log base 10. So we want to write this differences into one single log. So we can use the quotient property. Okay. So that will give us log. The base is 10. We don't have to write this. This rational expression 4x minus 3 over x. And that's it. Okay. So let's move on to exercise number 17. Here, the first thing we have to do first is that I'm gonna start with the second term. I'm gonna go ahead and use the power property. This time we go backwards. So let's copy the first term first. So the first term is log base 2 of z plus, and then for the second term, we bring the coefficient 4 in front of the log back inside the log. It becomes the power. So we log base 2 of y to the power 4. Okay, so now next we are going to use the product property. So that give us one single log base 2 of z times y to the power 4. Okay, so let's look at exercise number 18. So step 1, the first term 3 times natural log of x. I'm gonna go ahead and use the power property, bring the coefficient 3 back inside, become the power. So be natural log of x to the power 3. So that will be the first step. I'm going to go ahead and copy the rest of the term. So plus natural log of x minus 2 minus natural log of 5. Okay, so next step, we are going to use the product property for the two terms first. So that gives us natural log of x to the power 3 times x minus 2. And copy the last term. Okay. And then lastly, we are going to use the quotient property to write into one single natural log. So this becomes natural log of this rational expression, x to the power 3 times x minus 2, all divided by 5. Okay, let's look at exercise number 19. The first step is that we want to clear the probability. Here, as you can see that we use the square brackets, but it's just the same as probability. Since we use the probability inside, so that's why we use the square bracket, but it's same. So the first step, we'll go ahead and distribute the two to the two term inside this square bracket. So that will give a 2 times natural log of x minus 2 times natural log of x to the power 2. And then we copy the rest of the term. So that will be plus 2/3 natural log of z to the power 9 minus natural log of z. Okay, next, we are going to use the powers, the power property for each one of this term here. So I'm trying to use color code so that you can see this. So that will give us natural log of x to the power 2 minus natural log of x to the power 4. If you wonder why 4, because the exponent, when you have the two exponents, you multiply. So x squared and then square again become x4. And then next one, plus natural log. So 9 times 2 divided by 3. So that will give us 6. Z to the power 6. And then copy the last term. Okay. So now the next one, as you can see right here, I'm go ahead and just move everything kind of to, so the sum with the sum do natural log of x squared plus natural log. So I'm moving the two terms together, okay? So that we can use the product property plus natural log of z to the power 6. And then minus, now the two terms here, they both have, so these two terms, as you can see that they both have -1 at the common factor. So I'm going to go ahead and factor this out so that, so when we factor, then we change the sign, right? So that will give a natural log of x to the power 4 plus natural log of z. Okay, so now as you can see, we can use the product property first. So we have natural log of x to the power 2, z to the power 6 minus natural log of x to the power 4, z. And then lastly, when you use the quotient property, so that will give us one single natural log. So that will give us a natural log of this rational expression, x to the power 2, z to the power 6 divided by x to the power 4, z. But we really don't want to stop right here. And the reason we say that we don't want to stop right here, because as you can see that we can continue to simplify simplify the rational expression. Okay. So that gives us natural log. Now x squared divided by x to the power 4. So we end up with 1 over x squared, or just put x squared in the denominator. Z to the power 6 divide by z, that gives us z to the power 5. So this will be our final simplify. We cannot simplify no more. Okay, so let's look at number 20. So I'm run out of space. I'm having to do this way so you're not going to confuse which one go with which. So for for exercise number 20, the first step, we're gonna go ahead and use the power property. Now when we use the power property, just make sure that we keep the minus stay where it is. We just bring the 2, not the negative. Okay, so that will give us negative log base 5 of x plus 5, all of this to the power 2. And then copy the next term, plus log base 5 of x. And then the last term we copy the way it is, plus log base 5 of x to the power 2 minus 25. So the first thing we just did is that we just use the power property for the first term, and then the next two terms we just copy them the way it is. Okay, so next we are going to use the product property for the last two terms to that. And so the first term I'll just copy the way it is, minus log base 5 of x plus 5 to the power 2. And then the last two terms using the product property, so that will give us log base 5 of x times x squared minus 25. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the quotient property, but to make it easy for you, I can rewrite it so you can see that the quotient property works. So log base 5 of x times x squared minus 25 minus log base 5 of x plus 5 to the power 2. Now you can see that we have the differences, then we can just use the quotient property right away. So that will give us, sorry, I'm trying to use different colors so that you're not going to get confused. So that will give us this, give it only one single log. So log base 5 of this rational expression, x times x squared minus 25 for the numerator. For the denominator is x plus 5 squared. But as you can see right here that inside inside the parenthesis, you know that this rational expression, we can simplify this by factor first. So let's do the factor and then we will keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the factor. So log base 5. So for the numerators, we have x, and then x squared minus 25, we can factor them as x plus 5 times x minus 5. So that is the numerator. Now let's go to the denominator. X plus 5 squared, we can factor them as two factors, x plus 5, the first factor, and the second is the same, x plus 5. Now you can see right here that we can divide the common factor, and what we have left is inside the parenthesis, which is our rational expression, is this fraction log base 5 of x times x minus 5. And then for our denominator, just x plus 5. Okay. Let's look at exercise 21, 22, and 23. For this exercise, we don't need to use the calculators. We use the given value. So here I'm gonna go ahead and use three different color for you. Log base b. B is just a real number. So we said if you see log base b of 2, we just use 0.4307. And then log base b of 3, we use 0.6826. And then lastly, I'm trying to use three different colors so easy for you to see. Lastly will be log base b of 7 is 1.2091. So I'm going ahead and we just use those to estimate to get to an appropriate. No, it's not exactly, because as you can see that these are just estimates. So let's just start with the first one. We have log base b of 21, but we can factor 21 because if we can see right here the factor of 21 is 3 and 7. So we can divide them as log base b of 3 times 7 because that's equal 21. So that gives us log base b of 3 plus log base b of 7. We're using the product property. Now, log base b of 3 give us 0.6826 using the given information. And then log base b of 7, we have 1.2091. So now we just go ahead and add them up. So it's just about, not exact, 1.8917. So when you do your homework, you will see questions like this in the homework. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Log base b of 9. Okay, so here there are more than one way to do this, because 9 we can factor at 3 times 3, which is very similar to exercise 21, and you will expand it using the product property. But this time I'm going to go ahead and do something different. I'm using the power. So 9, I'm going to go ahead and divide them at 3 to the power 2. Because 3 to the power 2 is still give me 9. And then from here, I'm using the power property. So that will give us 2 times log base b of 3. And then 2 times log base b of 3 is 0.6826. So we go ahead and multiply 2 and 0.6826. So it gives us about 1.3652. Okay, let's look at exercise number 23. So here, log base b of this fraction, or we say rational expression, this fraction, 7 divided by 2. So when goes using the quotient property, so log base b of 7 minus log base b of 2. Okay, so log base b of 7 is given 1.2091. And then log base B of 2 is 0.4307. Simplify to give us about 0.7784.